Live from KSAT 12, the news at 5:30 starts right now.
An update to a major story we've been following since Thursday. One of the children that was severely injured when a car crashed into the Excel Plus Montessori school is still in critical condition tonight. School officials posted this update on Facebook earlier today, which shared information directly from the child's family. The post says that while the child is still in critical condition, the other children hurt in the incident have been released from the hospital. If you remember, one faculty member died after the sheriff's deputies say someone accidentally hit a car in the school's parking lot, pushing another car into a group of children and that teacher. In that Facebook update today, the parents mentioned they're still waiting for more information from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, and it is something we will be checking in on as well. In other news, a woman is dead after a fire burned through two apartments at a complex on the north side. It happened at Fredericksburg Place Apartments off Fredericksburg Road today. Firefighters say they got the call around 11 a.m. that there were high flames at the back of the complex. Once they got there, they evacuated the whole complex, but one woman was stuck on her balcony calling for help. They were finally able to get to her, but she had already died.
Unfortunately, we did have the one fatality, but we are very fortunate that everyone else was able to get out safely. Obviously, a Sunday morning, most everyone was home, so they were able to alert other neighbors and get out quickly and safely.
Firefighters were able to knock that fire down quickly. SAFD says 2 units were burned and 2 others damaged by smoke and water. The cause, though, of that fire still under investigation. Well, 2024 has already seen some record-breaking holiday travel periods, and this holiday season will likely be just as busy. Millions are already on the move, but the weather could complicate travel plans in some parts of the country. ABC's Faith Abube has hunkered down at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, the busiest in the U.S., to fill us in on holiday travel rush.
Millions of Americans taking to the skies and hitting the roads.
We're going to Charlotte, North Carolina to see our daughter.
According to AAA, nearly 120 million people are expected to travel at least 50 miles from home during this holiday season.
We got here early because our flight is at 1:35, so we're already here.
Many will be flying to their destinations. Airlines gearing up. United Airlines says it added hundreds of flights per day. TSA says it's expecting a 6.2% increase in passengers at checkpoints compared to last year. We spoke with some travelers here in Atlanta who say it hasn't been that bad getting through the airport.
Surprisingly went really fast. Yeah, they seem very organized.
I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. We got through the line pretty quickly, but I know how hectic it can be around the holidays.
It wasn't quite as smooth for some people traveling by train along the East Coast. Amtrak service between Philadelphia and New York was suspended, they say, due to downed overhead wires. Several trains were canceled. The roads will be busy as well. AAA says about 90% of people traveling during this holiday stretch will be driving to their destinations. And they'll be seeing some good news at the pump. Gas prices are trending downward. The national average is now about $3 a gallon. But the weather could impact some of those travel plans. On Monday, a storm system is forecast to move into the Great Lakes, which could bring snow to Wisconsin and Michigan. Snow then moves into the Northeast from West Virginia to Maine. Faith Abube, ABC News, Atlanta.
And if you're hitting the road for the holidays, here's a look at what you might see at the gas station. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular gas in Bexar County, $2.69. That's 4 cents more expensive than the Texas average of $2.65, but still 35 cents cheaper than the national average of $3.04. You see all those snowstorms out there, Ken. Aren't you glad to be in South Texas?
I am so happy to be in South Texas. The snow they've gotten up north recently and are looking at here in the coming days turned out to be a fairly nice day today. A little bit more sun than originally expected. That allowed temperatures to warm up a little bit more. But right now, definitely have some mostly cloudy conditions here in San Antonio. But as far as the evening overnight conditions, we are not going to be as chilly tomorrow morning as we were this morning because we have some moisture moving. You get those dew points that have climbed about 20 degrees in the last 24 hours. That will limit the cooling that we see tonight. As you see this evening, if you are out and about, we're going to be staying in the low to mid 60s for temperatures, again, with mostly cloudy conditions. But as far as the week ahead, Monday morning, we are looking at some chances of morning fog, and that moisture has made its way in. And again, temperatures are on the rise, going to be getting well into the 70s the next couple of days, including on Christmas Eve. We're going to hold on to that humidity, but then a front is going to be passing through. Let's give us a chance of rain late Tuesday night. Maybe Santa have to get those windshield wipers going. But then on Christmas Day, should be a little bit drier for us, a little bit of sunshine. I'll have all those details for you coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Courtney?
Why is the American sound kind of not doing the Pakyaka and Harvard Yard Boston sound? Why is it not doing the Georgia sound of the South so much?
Language is about more than just words. It's about culture, identity, history. Have you ever wondered why South Texans sound different than people in East Texas or West Texas? We asked that question in a new KSAT Explains coming up tonight on the Night Beat. 'Tis the season to help others. One nonprofit is taking that idea to a brand new level. Find out more when we come back. It is something so many of us take for granted, our sight. This holiday season, one local nonprofit is helping the visually impaired step into the world of theater. Our Devin Karp takes us behind the curtain of a Christmas classic to see how everyone is able to enjoy a trip to the theater.
A Christmas classic, the tale of Ebenezer Scrooge and the Three Ghosts of Christmas. But for some people in San Antonio, it's a lot harder to enjoy the magic of the theater if you can't see it.
See how it just goes over the top of your ear?
Yep. Jenny Salinas, a visually impaired theater lover, worked with the nonprofit Vibrant Works to offer audio descriptions for shows right here at the San Pedro Playhouse.
But at times I was sitting in the audience and people were laughing and I was the only one that wasn't laughing. And I was like, oh, I get it. Something physical happened on stage and I missed it. And with audio description, that fills it in.
Marley enters. Marley comes up from the stage surrounded by mist. The lights change and become dim and begin to flash.
Here's how it works. A narrator like Kimberly has a microphone and a script, reading aloud visual elements of what's happening on stage.
Every production is different, so we have to see how they're going to do it in their timing and things like that, so we can get in the description without covering the dialogue or a lot of the music or the sound effects. I'm just another member of the audience helping other people in the audience experience it in a really, really rich way.
It's something the nonprofit is proud to see after working hard for a year and is expanding to performances at the Majestic Theater in 2025.
You start with describing the set to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which I really appreciate.
Yeah, good.
Now, Jenny gets to enjoy the stage in her way and won't stop working hard until as many theaters in town have something to offer for those who struggle to see.
A Christmas Carol is a very iconic show. Now you get to be a part of that. You get to be a part of the conversation, you get to see culture, and it's just amazing.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Beautiful. What an incredible idea. If you'd like to listen to another show with audio descriptions, Vibrant Works will be at the Hadestown Matinee at the Majestic Theater on Sunday, January 12th. How amazing is that?
It is no bah humbug this Christmas season.
Exactly. You know what's really incredible was when she was describing, oh yeah, we got to get to the theater. We have to understand where the pauses are.
Right.
A lot of work. They're not just throwing out descriptions. They're trying not to cover dialogue. I mean, that's really innovative.
The amount of talent it takes for the one lady to give the descriptions for the people that are blind is astounding.
I love it. I love it. So thank you for what you're doing. And of course, we're going to be back after this break with a check of your weather.
Stay tuned.
All right, we know you're used to more of a white Christmas lately, but that won't be the case here. Spring-like, but beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather today. Again, a little bit more sunshine than expected, which was pleasantly welcome for sure. But those temperatures, if you don't like the seasonal 60s here in South Central Texas, well, this next week's going to be gorgeous for you.
Good. Perfect.
Yes, looking at the 70s starting tomorrow, starting off with the 7-day high temperatures forecasted for us. Again, this weekend has been getting more in the 60s across the region, but heading into tomorrow, we do have some southeasterly winds bringing those temperatures up for us. As you can see, looking at 75 for us on Monday, and then 77 on Tuesday. A weak cold front is going to pass through Tuesday night, and that'll give us a slight cool down heading into the second half of the week, starting on Christmas Day. But also should be some drier conditions after some humidity worked its way in over the course of the last 24 hours. Temperatures across the U.S. Again, we're looking in the 60s here in Texas. Some frigid temperatures up in the Northeast in the teens right now. They're preparing for some snowfall over the next couple of days. Clouds and radar. A little bit of cloud cover over the western portion of the state, but as far as precipitation goes, just a little bit of some light snow up in Michigan, and of course along the Pacific Northwest, Pacific coast, are seeing some rainfall, maybe a little bit of snow as it reaches those coastal mountain ranges. But overall, we are looking at mostly dry conditions over the next day or so until we get into Tuesday afternoon. Then here comes this front passing through, and that's going to cause some chance of precipitation along the front of that system, and we could see that arrive sometime Tuesday evening. And so if you're going to be out waiting for Santa to arrive, maybe you'll have the windshield wipers and some rainfall to kind of mask the pitter patter of reindeer on your roof. But that's going to clear out by the time we get into the Christmas morning, and that'll allow some drier conditions to settle in. So anything type of mugginess that you feel tomorrow and on Tuesday, that will clear out by the time we get into Wednesday. Now, as far as Thursday goes, another system is going to be passing to our north. Now, depending on how far north and south this is, that will dictate our chance of precipitation. Right now, we're looking at about a 20% chance, but if the system drips a little bit further south, we could see that chance of rainfall go up just a tad. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you moving forward. Christmas Eve forecast, again, temperatures are trending up just a little bit compared to where we were at 24 hours ago. Right now, we're looking at 77 degrees with a 20 to 30% chance of rain during the evening hours. And then for Christmas Day, high of 74. Not looking at any type of precipitation. Again, dry in our forecast for Christmas. Right now, we're looking at 69 degrees. Temperatures gradually falling. Waiting for that sun to set right now. And we are, again, with those dew points as they are, we are going to see temperatures fall rather gradually over the next 6 hours or so. Right now, we are seeing 70 degrees in South Bexar County and then into the southeast of San Antonio. Still in the 70s, but looking at the 60s as you get up into hill country. As far as the low temperatures tomorrow, not quite as chilly as this morning. Again, the dew points that are higher, and that's going to limit the amount of cooling that we see. So a bit milder tomorrow morning, looking at lows in the, or starting the day rather, in the mid to upper 50s. But with some patches of fog potentially because of that added moisture. And then over the course of the day, we're going to get into the upper 60s by the noon hour, and then riding the mid 70s throughout the afternoon with gradually decreasing clouds into the afternoon. But as far as high temperatures across the region tomorrow, we are looking at, again, mostly in the 70s, maybe further to the northwest. We could see a couple of 60s, but again, these temperatures are about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. And then this next week ahead, entirely in the 70s. Overnight lows also going to be a little bit above normal, lows in the upper 50s to low 60s, but really precipitation chances, keep an eye on Tuesday afternoon, evening time, and then again on Thursday with Christmas Day locked in for some dry conditions. So whatever kind of fun things you may receive from Santa under the tree, be able to go outside and enjoy them in the nice weather.
That's good to know. Yes. That's good to know. I mean, it's better than, you know, the slick weather when you're trying to drive around if you've got multiple Christmas plans. So I think it's perfect for South Texas.
Enjoy that new football to celebrate Texas's win yesterday.
Exactly. Hook 'em horns, love it. Okay, speaking of football, what the really big story locally is our state champions.
Yes, what are the odds that Texas doesn't headline the local sports?
Exactly, right? That's fine with me.
The Smithson Valley football team, the Rangers, return home state champions. We have some great post-game reaction to show you coming up. Plus, the latest from today's press conference with D'Amico Ryans on Tank Dell and his severe knee injury. Yesterday was a day that'll live on in Smithson Valley football history forever. The Rangers finally got over the hump to win a program first state title in 5 all-time appearances. Coaching every single one of those games, legendary Texas head high school football coach Larry Hill. Smithson Valley pulled off an improbable win over Dallas area's Highland Park 32-20 inside of AT&T Stadium to secure the UIL Class 5A D1 crown, an effort guided by offensive MVP quarterback Cade Spradling. Now after the game, Hill was brutally honest about the long drought.
It's always the game somebody else gets to win, and you begin to wonder if you'll win it ever. And today, yeah.
Just happy. You're sad. Your senior year came to an end, but there's no better way to end, your high school career. There can only be one team that wins their last game, and I was happy it was us.
Some powerful words from both Hill and Spradling. We're still waiting to hear on details of when the Rangers will hold their championship parade. The third-ranked Texas football team is on to the college football playoff quarterfinals after grinding out a 38-24 win over Clemson yesterday at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. Cade Klubnik, an Austin Westlake alum, made big plays for the Tigers to keep the Tigers within striking distance of the Longhorns. However, the Texas run game would prove to be too much to handle as the offense racked up nearly 300 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, led by Jaden Blue. But Steve Sarkisian after the game giving Quinn Ewers some credit for using his veteran IQ to find Blue on both of his scores.
I thought Quinn did a great job, on both Jaden Blue's touchdown runs. Those were audibles by Quinn to that run. And so, one, him handling the run game, and then two, that mechanism at the line of scrimmage of getting that check and then blocking it really well to spring him on those 2 runs. So there's a lot that goes into the run game. We always say the run game takes all 11, and all 11 did it tonight.
Next, Texas will face Cam Scattaboo and Arizona State in the Peach Bowl on New Year's Day.
It's 5 years in a row. I mean, we know it's not easy, so we don't take it for granted. We're grateful. A lot of people here, the Myrtle Beach Bowl is very proud of their bowl. The people are very hospitable.
On the eve of the Myrtle Beach Bowl set to kick off tomorrow morning, the UTSA football program stole the spotlight with a pep rally this afternoon. The Roadrunners want to continue the upward trajectory they ended the season on, winning 4 of their last 5 games. This will be the first ever meeting between UTSA and Coastal Carolina, who will have the benefit of home field. Kickoff is at 10 a.m. And that leads us into tonight's instant replay poll question. Who do you think will win the Myrtle Beach Bowl, UTSA or Coastal Carolina? Vote now at KSAT.com/sports/poll, or you can use the QR code on your screen, and we'll have the results at the end of instant replay tonight. Well, it was just a brutal Saturday for the Houston Texans and their young standout receiver, Tank Dell. Dell suffered a severe knee injury in the 27-19 loss to the Chiefs while making a spectacular 30-yard touchdown grab. Dell colliding with his teammate Jared Wayne on the ground and was driven off the field in a covered medical cart. Dell was released from the hospital today. Here's head coach D'Amico Ryans on his answer of whether or not Dell's season is done.
We're still evaluating that to see, what will happen. He still has to talk to doctors and go through all the procedures there. On the same note, we'd really like to thank the Kansas City medical team and the doctors there and their staff for being very accommodating. You just take a step back and think about Tank, think about Jared, all the guys involved on that play. Like it's tough.
Well, not much time to spare in between games this week for Houston. Next, they face the Ravens on Christmas Day. As for the Dallas Cowboys, they were officially eliminated from playoff contention today. Tonight, the boys will face Tampa Bay at home on the primetime stage for a 7:20 kickoff. We'll have the highlights of this one on Instant Replay.
It's always nice, to have one like this. And I think it's, we allowed ourselves to have that, which is good.
Last night, Victor Wembanyama dropped 30 points and tied a career-high 10 blocks in a decisive 114-94 win over Portland. Wemby impressed, going 4 for 8 from beyond the arc to reach 300 career triples, which he did faster than Steph Curry, James Harden, and Ray Allen. Tomorrow, the Spurs begin a 5-game road trip at the 76ers. It'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off. Wemby.
Let's go, Wemby.
Yeah.
God, it's so amazing to see him and the whole team work together. They're doing so well.
Absolutely. They have been.
To see it. All right, thanks, Mary. We'll be right back after this.
All right, welcome back. Taking a final look at our forecast for this upcoming week. Warmer weather on its way, going to be arriving tonight into tomorrow. Highs in the 70s. We have a chance of rain on Tuesday evening, about a 20 to 30% chance. And so maybe you have to get your umbrella if you're trying to keep an eye out for Santa. But otherwise, Wednesday, Christmas Day, nice and dry for us, a little bit of sunshine. Another chance of rain on Thursday, but overall 70s this upcoming week.
That's a Merry Christmas forecast.
It really, really is.
I love it. All right, thanks so much. We'll see you at 10.